What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to our newest episode of Your Ass is Hungry Now. And today you're gonna bow down to our new duck confit bao recipe. What we put into that, chef?
Okay, so we're gonna confit it with all the flavors of 5 spice. So we got our clove, star anise, cinnamon sticks, we got a little bay leaf, Schezwan, garlic, all those delicious spices and aromatics that'll go right into the confit and give that duck that awesome flavor.
And then we're just gonna measure it up with some roasted plums, turn into a nice little sweet and sour sauce. We got some beautiful lotus root. We're gonna do little chips for a little crunch factor, and yeah, we're gonna bring it on this episode. Let's get to it. First, we're gonna start off by curing our duck legs. We cure them because we wanna kill off any microorganisms that may be floating in the water for these guys. Also, it gives a more robust foundation of flavor. Deeper, richer, delicious. First, we're gonna hit it with 3 tablespoons of kosher salt, 1 tablespoon of white sugar, a few sprigs of thyme, 2 red Thai chili, 4 crushed garlic cloves, 1/2 of a shallot sliced. We're gonna overhaul all these ingredients together and let them sit overnight and let the salt do its work to activate the moisture of the duck. So it's been about 12 hours here. And as you can see, a lot of the water content was removed from the duck. We're gonna rinse these duck legs in cold water and pat dry under a paper towel. For our confit, we're gonna gather our spices, about 1/4 of a cinnamon stick, 1/2 teaspoon of Fennel Seed, 1.5 star anise, 1 teaspoon of Schezwan Peppercorns, 8 pieces of whole clove, 1/2 teaspoon of coriander. We're gonna toast these off until they're fragrant. Alright, these are nice and toasted. We're gonna add our duck fat, get that melted down. 1 large bay leaf, 2 sprigs of thyme, 3 crushed cloves of garlic, 1 shallot quartered. Lay our duck down. We're gonna pour over our fat and aromatics. Cracked black peppercorns. Plastic wrap. Tin foil. Nice and tight. We're going to confit our duck legs in the oven at 325 degrees for about 3 hours.
Next up, we're making our bao buns. I got 1/2 cup of 100-degree water. To that, I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of dry active yeast. I'm just gonna give it a little mix and let it bloom. While the yeast is blooming, I'm gonna measure out the dry ingredients. 1¼ cup of bread flour. I got 1/4 cup of cornstarch, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2.5 tablespoons of sugar. My yeast is activated here. To that, I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of activated charcoal to make our buns black. If you don't wanna have the black buns, you can just omit this step. We don't have a stand mixer, so we're gonna mix it by hand like we do with all our doughs. Start by mixing up all the dry ingredients so they're nice and thoroughly combined. Now I'm gonna add our yeast and charcoal mixture. We give that a mix with a wooden spoon till a shaggy dough forms. At this point, I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of room temperature butter. Keep on mixing. I'm gonna turn our dough out onto our work surface and begin to knead it by hand. I finished kneading our dough. I have an oiled bowl here, put plastic wrap on it. We're gonna let it rest for an hour. Also, we made a white version. It's gonna be black and white baos.
For our sweet and sour plum sauce, we're gonna start out with plums. These guys peel down.
Those look like peaches.
Over medium heat, we're gonna add just a dollop of canola oil. Add 1/4 of a sliced shallot. Add our plums. Splash of black vinegar. And 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar. Let that melt in there. We're gonna let this caramelize down for about 8 minutes. Add about 1/2 teaspoon of Hoison sauce, teaspoon of Sambal, and a little bit of plum sauce. Now it's time to emulsify our plum sauce through an immersion blender. We're gonna add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of water here. Got nice and blend. We're gonna cool this down in the fridge and then get it in a squeeze bottle.
Next up, we're gonna get our cucumber ready. I'm gonna cut it in half and cut it on a nice sharp bias. I'm gonna throw them in a little metal bowl. Now I'm gonna pour a couple tablespoons of rice wine vinegar on top. Just gonna let that marinate until our baos are ready. Next, we have a little thing. You might think it's a potato. You'd be absolutely wrong. It's a lotus root. We're gonna peel it, slice it thin. It's gonna be a garnish for our bao. We're just gonna fry these lotus roots up until they become nice and crispy.
These guys are nice and perfectly golden. We're gonna take them out, season them with a little bit of toasted Szechuan and sugar. The Szechuan's really nice because it gives a mouth-numbing tingle.
Our dough is proof for an hour. Now I'm gonna roll it out and begin to cut our bao bun. This is the white dough, clearly. Oh my god, this dough is beautiful. Whatever chef made this is my favorite chef in Kitchener. Our dough has been rolled out. Now I'm gonna give it a cut with our nice ring mold cutter. Our dough is rolled out to about 1/8 of an inch. I got our ring cutter here. I'm gonna cut our little bao bun shapes out.
Feels nice, feels really good.
Our dough is all rolled out. I'm gonna take it, lay a piece of parchment on it, fold it over, and set it to the side. This is for when we steam it. It'll help the buns expand and not let them stick to each other. Because if you do it like this, you're just gonna have one big lump of dough. The parchment will prevent that from happening. Next, we're gonna roll out the black dough and do the exact same thing.
All right, it's been 3 hours. It's time to unwrap our duck confit. Wow, look at that. We transferred duck legs to a cast iron pan. We're gonna let it go in the broil for about 3 minutes just to crisp that skin.
We have our steamer here on a nice pot of water. It's ready. You can see the steam coming up. We are going to get our bao buns in here and steam them for about 8 to 10 minutes. We got 6 buns in our steamer, 3 black, 3 white. Put the lid on and just let it cook. Listen to this crispy duck. Time to pick it down, peel off the skin, and get it ready for the baos. I'm just gonna give the duck a rough chop and get into a bowl. Smash bao. It's time to sneak a peek at these buns. OMG. They are light, fluffy, steamed, soft, doughy, chewy, everything. Time to build the bao.
We're gonna follow this up with some QP mayo.
Bow down. It's time to dig in. You got the white one. Cheers. Dude. I'm snapping.
That 5-spice flavor is a kiss of it. It's not overpowering. And that texture, the crispness and the succulence and the
softness of the bun.
Oh, and the freshness of the pop of that cucumber, just picking it all up together, man. And then
The sweetness of the plum.
classic QP. Like, you can't go wrong with
This
that.
is delicious.
And dude, that dough.
Delicious. The dough is so soft
So
and
textbook,
fluffy.
so textbook. All right, guys, if there's one recipe you have to try, I'm telling you, it's this. It's this right here. Like, I'm blown away. It's just so delicious right now. I got going for another one.
Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe because we get new videos every single Saturday. The recipes are always down in the description. See you next week.